Hello everyone, welcome to the first PUC online series of Gopal Swami PU College, Mysuru. I am Suma, Economics lecturer. In today's session of chapter 3, that is Organization of Data, let us discuss about the construction of a frequency distribution. So, in this lesson, we will discuss about how to decide the classes and what is the range, what is the width of the class, everything. So, in this session, let us see a problem. In your examination, they will give some numbers like this and they will ask you to prepare a frequency distribution. So, for this, we have to prepare the frequency distribution. For that, we have to calculate what is the total of these numbers. So, here we have totally 25 numbers. If you count, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So, totally there are 25 numbers. So, when we put the tally marks and when we arrange these numbers in the respective classes and with the tally marks, we will come to the frequencies. So, we will get the frequencies and the total number of these frequencies should be again 25 only. So, before we move towards this, you all have learnt, once let us recall about the classification of the data. You all have learnt in your previous sessions that there are 4 types of classifications: the chronological classification, the geographical classification, the quantitative classification as well as the qualitative classification. So, now in this frequency distribution, we are classifying the data into a quantitative classification. We have to decide the class. This is only these numbers are given to you and it is asked you to create a frequency distribution. Answer is here. So, class, first we have to decide the class. You all know that data are presented in textual way or tabular way. So, here we have constructed the table with the help of rows and columns. So, in this first column we have the class. Since here we have checked the least number is 2 and the maximum number, the largest number in this group of numbers is 29. So, a range is the difference between the lowest number and the highest number of a group, or the smallest number or the largest number of a group. So, the smallest number is 2 and the largest number is 29. So, the difference between 29 and 2 is 27. So, then we can decide about the class width. As you all know, the class width will be usually between 5 to 15. So, it may be 5 or 10 or 15. Class width is nothing but the gap between these two numbers. So, in this frequency distribution, I have selected the class width as 5. So, the class width should be uniform. Therefore, it starts from 0 to 5, 5 to 10. There should be uniform gap between the two limits, class limits. This is called as the lower class limit and this is called as the upper class limit. So, the gap between the lower class limit and the upper class limit is always uniform in a series. So, here it is 5, 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25, 25 to 30. Because the largest number is 29, we have taken 30 as the upper class limit of the last class. So, now after deciding the class, we have even decided about the two methods of distribution of the class, that is inclusive method and exclusive method. Here we have selected the exclusive method. In the case of exclusive method, the value of the upper limit will not be included in the same class. Suppose if 5 is there, in this group, we don't consider it in this class, but it is taken in the next class. The upper limit of the one class will be the lower limit of the next class. In the case of exclusive method, we consider the number in the next class, that is 5. If it is there in this group, it is excluded here and it is considered here. If it is an inclusive method of classification, then the series would be of 0 to 4, 5 to 9, 10 to 15, 14, 15 to 19. Like this it would have come. This is called as the inclusive method. So, here we have, in this distribution, we have decided to take the exclusive method. So, the classes are marked with exclusive method. So, here you have 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25 and 25 to 30. So, we should be careful here, because if we skip any one number, then the width of the class or the class interval will also vary. So, now first let us see about the numbers that come under this class. So, 0 to 5 means we are considering only 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. We are excluding the number 5 because it is an exclusive method of classification. So, 2 is here, then after 2 we have 3, then again 2 is here, then 4 is here, then one more 3 is here. So, 3. Therefore, totally there are 5 numbers that fall under this class or that come under this class, and for that we are marking the tally mark. You need not write this, just as an example for the first one I have written this, no need to write this. So, 1, 2, 3, 4 and fifth one is a cross mark. Okay. So, there are totally 5 frequencies in the first class. The next one is 5 to 10. So, now let us see about whether 5 is here, 5 is not there. So, then 6 is here, then again 6, 2, 7, 8 is there, 5 to 10, no, 8. So, 1, 2, 3, 4 and no other numbers. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, the frequency, the value of frequency is just 4. The next one is 10 to 15. So, 10 is here. We did not consider 10 in this series because it is an exclusive method. We have taken 10 in this class. So, 10 is here. So, 15 we are excluding because 15 will come under the next class. So, only 10, then 11, then we have 12, 10, 11, 12, then we have again one 10 and no other number. Let us see in the next class, that is between 15 to 20. 15 is there. So, 1, then after 15 we have 17, then again we have 18 here, then 17 is here, then 16 is here. So, after the fourth mark we are crossing the tally mark from a cross mark, and then totally we have 5 numbers that come under 15 to 20. The next one is 20 to 25. So, 20 we did not consider in the previous class. We are considering it here because it is an exclusive method. So, 20 is here and 20 to 25. So, in this first row we don't have any number with 20. So, 20, 21, 24, 22. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, then 24 again. Since it is a fifth one, we are marking like this. Then 123 is also here. So, totally we have 6 numbers that come under this class. So, this class has 6 frequencies. The next one is 25 to 30. Here we have only one number that comes between 25 and 30. No other number which exceeds 25. So, only one number is here. 1 is the frequency. Only one frequency is here. So, let us count this. 5 plus 4 is 9, 9 plus 4 13, 13 plus 5 18, 18 plus 6 24, 24 plus 1 is 25. So, the total number of this group is equivalent to the total number of frequencies. So this is the method of frequency distribution. So frequency distribution is done through this way, and in your examination you will be asked to prepare a frequency distribution with the help of the following data. That is, they will give some numbers, and with the help of those numbers you have to prepare a frequency distribution table. You have also learnt about the class midpoint or the class mark. So now let us see what are the class marks of these classes. It is nothing but the total of these two numbers taken as an average or divided by 2. So 0 plus 5 is 5, divided by 2 is 2.5. So class mark of this is 2.5. Here 10 plus 5 is 15, divided by 2, because there are only two numbers here in either side. So there are only two numbers here, and 15 divided by 2 is 7.5, that is 2 sevens are 14 and 5, and 10 plus 15, that is 25. 25 divided by 2 is 12.5. So that is the class mark of this number. So the class mark or the class midpoint of these classes are the averages of these two numbers. So the range is the difference between the largest number and the smallest numbers of the group. So the class mid value is the average of the two classes, that is the upper limit of the class and the lower limit of the class. Therefore, frequency distribution is prepared with 4 important steps. The steps that are involved in the frequency distribution are: first you should see the numbers, and you should see even about the numbers that they have repeated. So the repetition of numbers also should be marked, and repeated numbers will come under the same class only. Then after that we have to see about the range of the group of the numbers, that is the highest number and the lowest number, and after that we will check about the number of classes we should have, and also about the class width. So here the least number is 2 and the highest number, the largest number is 29, and we have decided the class width as 5. So it ranges from 0 to 5 to 25 to 30. Totally there are 6 classes. So if the numbers exceed more than this, if there are still more numbers or larger number, if the number in this group is still more, then we can go to another 2-3 classes. So the class width is always usually between 5 and 15. Here we have taken the class width as 5. Sometimes it will be like 0 to 10, 10 to 20. So here the class width is 10. At the maximum it may go beyond 10 and it may limit itself to 15. So then 0 to 15, 15 to 30, 30 to 45, like this. So after the class width is decided, we should decide about the number of the classes we should have, and after that we go on observing the numbers and we mark the numbers in this respective class through tally marks, and after that it is added and the total is written as frequencies. So this is the way of preparing the frequency distribution. In this lesson, you all learnt about some of the basic terms that are used in this chapter and in statistics, and also about the types of the classification as well as preparation of frequency distribution. So once it is learnt, then we can move towards the presentation of the data. So in the next class, let us start with the 4th lesson of presentation of data, and in that we will discuss about the forms of presentation of the data. So there are different types of presentation of data. They can be presented in the form of bar diagrams, pie diagrams, or even in the form of arithmetic line graph, frequency polygon, etc. So in our next session, let us discuss about that. I'll end up this session with a thought for the day. Today's thought says you that when you are good to others, you are best to yourself. So we should always be good towards others and also should be kind towards others. So when we are good to others in our thoughts and actions, and then definitely we will be the best to ourselves. So, if we are best to ourselves only, then it helps us to boost our self-confidence, and therefore we can achieve many things in our life. For any kind of achievement, the very basic thing is self-confidence, and if we are not having that self-confidence, then it is very difficult to conquer the struggles of life. Therefore, the best way to conquer the different types of struggles that come across in our way, we should be first good to others, then we turn best to ourselves only. So, when we are best to ourselves, then we go on understanding the life, and we all think the problems of others with empathy. It is not sympathy, that we think about others' problems by standing in their position or by assuming ourselves in their position, so that we will still become good towards others. Being good to others and being best to ourselves is again a greatest virtue, and we should practice that. Until and unless we practice it, it is very difficult for us only to become good to others. We should be into the practice of being good to every other person. So with this, I conclude this session. Thank you.